In your manifestos, you're talking about infrastructure, security, and all that. It's very important to our whole nation. But as artists in the film industry, in the acting industry, the comedy industry, we've not had your manifesto about us. So we are very much forgotten by your government, maybe. And thank you very much. You've very much tried to create 800 jobs. But in our film industry, we are forgotten.
Aye, asante. Twende.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. My name is Thomas Omeno. I'm a political science student at the University of Nairobi. But I have a question on the IEBC. I'm happy Hussein has touched part of it, but then the other part that is not touched that I'll touch now. The IEBC is an electoral body that regulates the elections in the country. There have been issues on the other side of the opposition that there is no credibility in the Electoral Commission. Now, there has been calls by the public, even the opposition, to reconstitute the commission. Now, my question is the government willing to help a hand in reconstituting the commission so that there is some sense of satisfactory on the other side as we get to the election? Thank you so much.
Okay, Dada.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My concern, I'm Masia Teka from Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University. My concern goes to the Integrated Strategic Urban Development Projects that include the metropolitan region, including the 12 cluster towns. Currently, the projects have gone silent, including the LAPSET and the Konza City project. What is the Jubilee government doing all about it?
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. My name is Julius Pambo, and I come from JKUAT University. I come from Homa Bay County, but I do have this particular issue with the youth fund. Where I come from in Homa Bay County, I've never seen it being distributed in a fair and equitable way. And I'm asking, if the national government is the one that is indeed in charge of this, then why is it not that they cannot get a mechanism of ensuring that we maintain equitability and some sense of fairness in doing it, such that everyone who applies for it can get it without discrimination? Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I start with Migingo. Yeah. I wanted to say Uganda is a friendly country. And Uganda being a friendly country, there is a way that diplomatically we engage with friendly countries. And that is the route which we are going to use, the diplomatic route, for us to engage on matters to do with Migingo or any other disputes that we may have over our territorial integrity with Uganda or with any other country. There is a process that is ongoing. That process is on course, and once that process is concluded, I am sure we will put the Migingo issue to rest. On the matter that was raised by my friend about art, in fact, this very hall where we are sitting today is in this state because of the Jubilee administration. We found this place in a mess. People used to sleep on the floor here at night with mattresses and things. And those of you who know what used to happen here, you will appreciate that we may not have done as much as maybe the artists would want us to. But we have made steps. At least we have a title deed now for this area. At least we have a working board. At least this area is alive, and artists have now an opportunity to be able to work their thing, display their art, and use this facility to progress their talent. We will, of course, want to do more. With the matters that we are handling under the Kenya Film Corporation, under the Film Classification Corporation, we are working with all those agencies. We have put in new management to try and work with artists so that we can leverage their talent and make them succeed in what they do. But I agree with you, there is room there for improvement. On the matter for IEBC, and as to whether we should, what should be done with the IEBC, let me say the following, that we are a country of rules. We have a constitution. The IEBC is a constitutional body. You cannot possibly disband the IEBC in a discussion or in a meeting or in a rally. It's not possible. I mean, if you respect the constitution, you know what you need to do if you have a problem with the IEBC. You take a petition to Parliament. If Parliament is satisfied, the President will appoint a tribunal. The tribunal will take the IEBC commissioners through the tribunal. If they are found guilty, they will be dismissed. We will have a new IEBC. But for heaven's sake, we disbanded the Kivuitu Electoral Commission of Kenya after the 2007 elections. We are not going to be having a new electoral body every election, especially because we don't agree with the outcome. And let me ask, when is the IEBC biased? I find it that it is the calls for its disbandment are more when they don't agree with a section of our Kenyan society. I mean, are they really objective? So these are issues that, and we have no problem as government. If a constitutional process is started that actually demands that we change commissioners in the IEBC, we have absolutely no problem. But what we are not going to do is to do unconstitutional things, to go and have a discussion somewhere in the corner or in a rally and say we are going to replace a constitutional body. That we will not be part of. And then...
because we have 2 minutes to wind up.
Okay. Somebody else at the corner said...
talked about projects like LAPSET.
LAPSET and Konza City. Let me inform the lady that Konza City is well on course. In fact, we have new investors that are working on the Konza City project. We just signed with some Italian firm to work on the whole re-engineering of the Konza arrangement. The LAPSET, in fact, the first bath in LAPSET will be ready next year. Today there were discussions with our friends from Uganda, our Minister for Energy, their Minister for Energy were in Lamu. They went the whole route, the LAPSET route, to look at the possibility of working with Uganda and of course South Sudan and Ethiopia on that project. So those projects take time. They are huge projects. It is not about just the rail, it's not about the pipeline, it's about a whole many other things. In fact, that LAPSET corridor is the development of a second corridor in Kenya that we are going to align our development.
Finally, 1 minute on Youth Fund because you're winding up. He talked about Youth Fund.
We have had challenges with the Youth Fund given, and we are rethinking the whole Youth Fund issue, whether there are suggestions, and we are considering all suggestions, that we have the Wezo Fund, we have the Youth Enterprise Fund, we have the Women Enterprise Fund, and all these are funds that are targeted at categories or groups in our society, and we are looking at how best they can be managed so that it gets to the people for which it was planned or intended.
We have a minute to go. We'll give you time to have winding remarks, but this has featured a lot on social media. A recent opinion poll ranking you behind President Uhuru Kenyatta, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, even Peter Kenneth, if elections were to be held today with 1%. I don't know what your response is to that.
All those people are running for president. I am not. I don't.
Doesn't that? Okay, that's fine. You're not running for president, but doesn't that show you?
I don't know.
Does that indicate anything to you about your popularity on the ground?
I am the only person in that list who is not running for president. It shows many things. It shows that even before I say I want to run for president, there are people who are thinking how I should be running for president.
So you don't care that it doesn't, you don't care that it says that you're not popular on the ground as compared to these other people.
How do you read like that? Because, as I have told you, I am the only person who is not running for president who is on that list. It tells you a lot. It tells you that even before I say I want to run for president, I have sufficient popularity to appear on that list. even when I am not, even when I'm not running.
Okay, we have to wind up now. Everybody can interpret that opinion poll the way they want, but you have winding remarks because you're winding up now. I think we have 30 seconds or something. Yeah.
What am I supposed to say in 30 seconds? Anyway, let me say thank you very much, fellow Kenyans, for coming so that we can have this interaction. Thank you again for your support. The Jubilee agenda would not have been possible, would not have reached where it is, were it not for the participation of many Kenyans who support us in many ways, including criticizing us so that we can do better. Many members of parliament who support us in the legislature to make sure that we drive our agenda in parliament. And we have an array of many things that I couldn't speak to this evening. But I want to tell our nation that all of us have an equal stake in Kenya. And it is our collective responsibility. Every Kenyan must make it their business and responsibility to carry a voter's card and decide on the leadership of our country. And I want to say from this podium that we want a 2017 peaceful election.
Any single regret over the last 3 years? As you wind up, single regret you have?
Well, we would have wanted to do our agenda 100%. Of course, we've had setbacks. Maybe we've not managed 100%. We've managed 80, which is still quite a good pass.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the Deputy President. Sadly, we didn't have the time to talk about everything. It's just 1 hour and 20 minutes. Like I said, this is a government function. Our role tonight with Kanzidena was to moderate this function. We hope your questions have been responded to because the bulk of the questions were coming from the audience. So thank you so much for participating, and thank you, Your Excellency, the Deputy President.
And I want to tell you, Hussein, you should have no apologies for participating in a government function. You are a Kenyan.
I have no apologies. I have no apologies. Okay. But thank you very much. It's just good to clear the air. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching. I'm Hussein Mohammed. On behalf of everybody here, she wants to say it herself. Okay.
Nami Kanzidena, asante Hussein.
She wanted to say it in Swahili. And mtandao wa kijamii actually means Twitter, Deputy President, when she kept saying that. Okay.
Social media, Hussein, social media.
Social media, all right. Okay, thank you very much. You wind it up there. I'm Hussein Mohammed. Have a good night.